You walk into Costco with a massive cart, a $120 annual executive membership card in your pocket, and an unshakable psychological belief that this specific warehouse is the one place in modern retail that will never try to rip you off. But what happened when an ordinary shopper decided to peel back the plastic on a bulk-sized package of meat is about to destroy that trust forever and change the way you shop for the rest of your life. We have all been trained to believe that Costco is different from the regular grocery store down the street because they cap their profit margins. They pay their workers decent wages, and they sell their famous rotisserie chickens at a loss just to make us feel like we are getting the ultimate bargain in a world where everything else is getting impossibly expensive. But that feeling of absolute security is precisely what makes us drop our guard, and when your guard is down, you stop looking at the small print, you stop questioning the numbers on the labels, and you stop asking whether the pounds of food printed on that glowing thermal sticker actually match the physical reality of what you are putting into your refrigerator. The investigation started on a routine Tuesday afternoon when a longtime Costco member loaded a massive vacuum-sealed package of prime ribeye steaks into his cart, staring at a label that proudly proclaimed a weight of exactly 6.4 pounds at a premium price per pound that brought the total cost of that single item to nearly $100. Most of us would simply wince at the price tag, swipe our credit cards, and head out to the food court for a hot dog. But this particular shopper had just bought a calibrated kitchen scale for his home business and decided to satisfy a lingering, uncomfortable curiosity that had been bugging him for months. He placed the heavy tray of steaks onto his digital scale, waited for the red numbers to stabilize, and stared in complete shock as the display read just 4.6 pounds, meaning that nearly 2 full pounds of prime expensive beef that he had just paid for with his hard-earned money simply did not exist anywhere on this planet. What makes this discovery truly terrifying is not that a single package was mislabeled by accident, but what happened when this customer went back to the warehouse the very next day to test 15 other packages across 3 different meat categories, revealing a pattern so chilling that you will never look at a Costco meat label the same way again. Before we expose the exact data from those 15 follow-up tests and reveal how deep this rabbit hole actually goes, take 1 second to hit that like button and share this video with anyone you know who shops at Costco, because what we found affects every single family that relies on bulk shopping to survive. When that shopper returned to the warehouse, he didn't just look at the ribeyes. He systematically tested bulk packages of ground beef, pork chops, and farmed Atlantic salmon, documenting the labeled weight versus the actual weight using a portable, certified scale right there in the middle of the store, while other customers walked past, oblivious to what was happening. If this were a simple human error caused by a rushed butcher in the back room pressing the wrong button on a scale, you would expect the errors to be random, meaning some packages would weigh slightly less than advertised, while other packages would weigh slightly more, balancing out in the end over thousands of daily transactions. But the data showed 0 random variation. Instead, every single package that deviated from the label was short by an average of 25 to 30%, and not a single tray tested in that warehouse came out even 1 ounce heavier than the weight printed on the barcode sticker. How does a multi-billion-dollar retail empire that prides itself on precision supply chain logistics manage to consistently overstate the weight of its most expensive perishable items without a single internal manager, quality control auditor, or checkout cashier catching the discrepancy before a customer walks out the door? To understand how this silent financial drain happens right under our noses, we have to pull back the curtain on how Costco actually sources, packages, and labels its high-end meats. Because the reality of modern bulk retail is completely different from the charming image of a local butcher cutting steaks to order behind a glass counter. Much like other retail giants, Costco relies on a complex network of automated regional processing facilities and third-party industrial packers who portion, seal, and label thousands of pounds of product every single hour using automated mechanical lines that run at blistering speeds to keep up with consumer demand. Once that barcode is printed and slapped onto the cellophane wrap at the processing plant, that number becomes gospel throughout the entire supply chain, meaning no one at the regional depot reweighs the boxes, no one at the local warehouse loading dock checks the individual trays, and the cashier at the register simply scans the barcode to extract whatever dollar amount the machine originally decided to print. The financial math behind this silent discrepancy is staggering when you scale it up from one ordinary shopping cart to the millions of loyal households that push oversized carts through Costco warehouses across the country every single week of the year. In our test case with the ribeye steaks, that £2 shortage cost the customer roughly $30 of phantom product on a single package, which is money that vanishes from a family budget without them ever realizing they paid for empty air instead of protein. Now imagine a typical suburban family buying bulk meat at Costco twice a month, absorbing an undetected $15 to $30 overcharge on every single visit because they blindly trust the Costco brand, resulting in an annual loss of nearly $700 a year per household just on mislabeled meat products. When you multiply that $700 phantom tax across Costco's massive membership base of over 100 million cardholders, you are looking at a potential financial anomaly worth hundreds of millions of dollars that is being quietly transferred from the wallets of everyday consumers directly into the top-line revenue of the retail supply chain without anyone sounding an alarm. What happened when this evidence was brought directly to the warehouse general manager will make your blood boil, and the explanation he gave on camera reveals a dark, institutional loophole that every single shopper needs to hear before their next grocery run. Instead of denying that the packages were short, the manager looked at the scale, looked at the meat, and immediately blamed what the industry calls purge, which is the natural liquid juices that seep out of fresh meat and get absorbed by those hidden white paper pads sitting at the bottom of the plastic tray. He argued that the meat weighed the correct amount when it was originally cut at the facility, but that the weight loss was simply water weight that drained into the absorbent pad during refrigerated transit, effectively telling the customer that it is perfectly normal to pay $20 a pound for frozen water and blood-soaked cardboard. But when our investigator removed the meat, stripped away the plastic wrap, and weighed the saturated absorbent pad all by itself, the juice-soaked pad weighed less than 4 ounces, leaving a massive 1.5-pound mathematical void that no amount of packaging science or purge excuses could ever possibly explain away. This is where the story takes an even more bizarre twist, because when you dig into the legal archives and regulatory filings surrounding bulk warehouse retailers, you discover that Costco and its primary suppliers have been dragged into the spotlight over labeling and weight controversies before, yet the average consumer has never heard a word about it. Over the last decade, state weights and measures inspectors across several jurisdictions have routinely issued fines and warnings to major grocery chains, including warehouse clubs, for failing to properly deduct the tare weight, which is the weight of the heavy plastic tray, the thick wrapping, and the absorbent pad, from the total price charged to the consumer. While Costco has historically maintained a much better public reputation than traditional supermarkets when it comes to customer service and return policies, the sheer scale of modern automated packaging means that when a mechanical calibration drifts even slightly out of alignment at a regional processing hub, that machine can silently print thousands of overpriced labels before a human technician ever notices the drift. And while a few $1,000s in local municipal fines is nothing more than pocket change to a corporation generating over $200 billion in annual revenue, the real cost is borne by the unsuspecting parent who stands in their kitchen wondering why a supposed 6-pound package of chicken breasts barely feeds their family for the week. We need to talk about the psychological trap of the membership card, because Costco has mastered the art of consumer conditioning better than any other corporation in human history, and that conditioning is precisely why this weight discrepancy has stayed hidden in the shadows for so long. When you pay an annual fee just to walk through the front doors of a store, your brain automatically performs a subconscious calculation that convinces you that you are part of an exclusive club, where the house is always on your side and where the prices are inherently honest. Because we trust the warehouse to protect us from the gouging we see at conventional supermarkets, we never inspect our receipts with a skeptical eye. We never question whether the scale reading on a bulk pack of salmon is accurate, and we certainly don't bring a food scale onto our kitchen counters to audit our weekly groceries after an exhausting 2-hour trip to the store. That blind, unshakable trust is the most valuable asset Costco owns, but as this pattern of underweight meat packages proves, trust without independent verification is simply an invitation for automated supply chain systems to quietly bleed your bank account dry 1 ounce at a time. If you think this labeling problem is only happening in the fresh meat department, what our investigator discovered in the dry goods and frozen seafood aisles is going to completely shatter your confidence in the entire warehouse club shopping model. Moving away from the beef and poultry cases, the testing expanded to frozen bags of wild-caught shrimp and glazed chicken wings, where products are sold by net weight but are coated in a thick layer of protective ice glaze to prevent freezer burn during long-term storage and transportation. When those frozen shrimp were properly thawed, drained, and weighed according to official federal measurement standards, the actual weight of the edible seafood was consistently 15 to 20% lower than the net weight printed on the front of the bag, meaning consumers were essentially paying premium seafood prices for frozen tap water. Whether it is an automated calibration error in the meat department or an aggressive overglazing process in the frozen aisle, the structural reality remains identical. The system is designed to move massive volume at maximum speed, and whenever a margin of error occurs in the weighing process, that error magically seems to favor the supplier and the retailer, rather than the family paying at the register. The response from Costco's corporate headquarters, when social media videos of these short-weighted packages began to surface, was a masterclass in corporate damage control. But it left the most important question completely unanswered for the millions of people who shop there every single day. The company reiterated its famous 100% satisfaction guarantee, reminding members that they can return any product at any time for a full refund. No questions asked, which sounds like an honorable resolution until you actually examine the practical reality of how modern families live their lives. A working mother who discovers that her $25 tray of ground beef is short by a pound is not going to pack up raw meat, drive 20 minutes back across town, wait in a 45-minute customer service return line, and waste her afternoon just to get a $5 refund credited back to her card. Corporations know that the physical friction and hassle of returning perishable goods is so high that 99% of consumers will simply absorb the financial loss, complain to their spouse, cook the food anyway, and forget about the discrepancy by the time they walk into the warehouse for their next shopping trip. Here is the inconvenient truth about where retail technology is going and why the burden of protecting your family's budget has permanently shifted from the store's quality control department directly onto your own shoulders, whether you like it or not. While major warehouse clubs invest millions of dollars into high-tech overhead membership scanners at the entrance, automated receipt-checking scanners at the exit doors, and sophisticated inventory tracking algorithms to prevent store shrinkage and theft, they rely on passive, unchecked trust when it comes to the accuracy of the weight labels printed on your food. The imbalance is glaring. If you try to walk out of Costco with an unscanned $20 item buried under a case of paper towels, the exit door auditors will catch it immediately and halt your cart. But if the automated system sells you a $60 roast that is missing $4 worth of meat, there is not a single alarm, sensor, or employee in the entire building tasked with stopping that transaction from taking place. We are living in an era where consumers must become their own quality assurance auditors, because the sheer velocity of modern supply chains has made it mathematically impossible to assume that any label, no matter how prestigious the retailer's reputation might be, is telling you the honest truth. What can you actually do to protect yourself and your wallet the next time you walk into a Costco warehouse without looking like a paranoid conspiracy theorist standing in the middle of the aisle with a pocket scale? First, develop the habit of physically comparing packages of the same labeled weight. If 2 trays of beef claim to weigh 5 pounds each, pick them both up simultaneously, and your natural human instincts will immediately tell you if one tray feels suspiciously lighter than the other. Second, never hesitate to use the digital scales located in the produce or bulk item sections of the warehouse to do a quick 10-second spot check on any high-priced meat or seafood item before you put it into your cart and head toward the checkout registers. Finally, and most importantly, stop treating your retail membership card as an unconditional shield against marketplace errors, and start viewing every high-dollar barcode as a claim that needs to be verified. Because the moment we stop questioning the numbers on the labels is the exact moment the system learns that it can get away with charging us for empty air. We have reached a turning point in the relationship between the everyday American consumer and the giant retail institutions that feed us, and the outcome of this silent struggle depends entirely on how many people wake up to what is happening right now in cold storage cases across the country. The era of blind loyalty is officially over, and whether it is Walmart, Costco, or any other mega retailer dominating the market, the message we send as consumers must be loud, clear, and unified. Accuracy on a food label is not an optional suggestion. It is a fundamental pledge of honesty that we demand in exchange for our hard-earned dollars. Have you ever bought a package of meat from Costco or any other warehouse club that felt strangely light or looked way smaller than the weight printed on the sticker? And did you actually take it back to the customer service desk to demand an answer? Leave a comment down below with your story right now, because I read every single response. Hit that subscribe button so you never miss another deep dive into the truth behind our food supply.